Yeah, you did.
Are you putting the generator in the house? Thank you. Stop it. I don't know what got in this pan. Did you see the little wood chips and stuff?
No. Hi.
Hi. Ah!
Okay.
Ah!
Oh.
Daddy bought a new sled yesterday. It's not that cold out here.
Good day. Today is December 13th. It's cold out. It's negative 19 degrees. The sunrise this morning was at 10:10 this morning, and the sunset today is at 3:35. So we have a small window of daylight to do everything that we need to accomplish. We wanted to let you know we lost all of our footage for the last month due to a faulty SD card, which was really disheartening for us because there was a lot of work that went into it, and we wanted to show you guys everything that we've done. We're gonna just kind of do a recap of where we're at today and where we are going to be going in the future. We're looking at the outside of the house, which we do have house wrap on one full side here, and this is the one full side that's like done. We want to put T111 on, but we're faced with the weather's not really permitting us to do that. It is very slick. We have about a foot of snow and ice. It's hard to put up a ladder, and it requires both Richard and I a very thoughtful and considerate time of doing anything on the house, and we'll kind of discuss our opportunity to do so in a moment. So we have the skirting on the house. Mostly done, but like most of our projects, not completely done. And we're gonna put gravel all along the bottom. And we have been checking here quite frequently. We have an access under the house here. Doing laundry and other things, which we'll talk about. Yeah, we have ice on the house wrap. And we think that's due, we're not engineers, but we think that's due to the temperature variance because it's warmer under the house, and it really collects in these areas where we have the access to the underside of the house and the outside. So there's that temperature variance which is causing this frost. But again, we're kind of stuck because of we got to wait till spring to do most of these projects when the ice and snow and the elements aren't against us. So that's where we're at on this piece. We'll show you the rest. There's house wrap on this side. We also have a lot of icicles up there, which is not good, and we know it. We have to put a roof vent up on the top, which we already have ordered, but again, we have to wait till spring because it is very dangerous to be up on the roof right now. We have a couple metal panels over on there, and I just wanted to see how slick it was, and so I tried just walking on it, and I was like sliding. So that's gonna have to wait till spring breakup. So we also have to put holes in the breeze blocking up there and then cover those with hardware fabric for airflow. but again, that's going to have to wait till spring. We have the baffling up, which we'll talk about more when we get inside. Okay, so follow me. You can see we have our beautiful solar panel here, which we want to mount up onto the house. We still have to do the house wrap up on that top area. We just didn't get to it before the snow and ice got really slick and thick. So that's something we have to do yet too on this part, and then tape all that. And then we're gonna mount the solar panel, at least one of them up here, probably a few. But during the winter, the sun's really low lying. So we're trying to really figure out what the best place to do that is, and we think this is going to be the best spot. And during the winter too, it's actually more beneficial to have it at this angle instead of angled a certain way, because it catches the sun off the snow, so it gives you the best energy. Richard just showed the brush pile that we have to deal with too. I don't know, we'll probably wait till spring to do that and get that kind of cleaned up. We'll probably integrate that into the garden. There's this Dutch method of growing things that we've done in the past. So we'll use those for making raised garden beds and then lining them with branches, and as they decompose, they add nutrients to the soil. But we'll do a future video about that. Then I wanted to show you guys, these are some of our building materials. As you can see, we have gotten into them, but it's very tricky. I got to kind of dig it out, and then usually they're frozen solid together. So I have to try to pry them apart and then take them in the house for a couple days before we can start any projects. We have kind of our firewood pile back here. This is one of our mini piles, and we're going to build a wood shed for that. It just didn't happen. And then the other big project, and actually it's going to take main priority, I think, this spring, is an Arctic entry. Richard kind of showed you when I opened the door how much of a loss of heat we have each time we open the door. So the Arctic entry will negate that and make it so that we can get in, and we can also store a lot of stuff in there too, like maybe even including our fridge, so that we maybe don't have to use electricity. A lot of people do that in Alaska, and we're going to experiment and see if that's a path that we can take. Richard has built us these stairs. He built them hastily so we could actually move our stuff in, and they work somewhat, but it's pretty scary. We've had a few incidents where we thought, oh, we're gonna fall.
Well, and Dave fell.
Yes, and one of our friends did fall off. He was totally okay. At least he reported that. One of our videos that we lost, we had an incident happen where our house got really smoky, and Richard kind of was questioning how smoky it was, and I was like, well, I think it's because you were trying to put too big a piece of wood on and it caught on fire.
It's an icicle.
And then it was smoking, and
it's an icicle.
we had to throw the wood out because it was too big to fit in there. Anyways, I thought it was because of that. But then both of our smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors started going off and telling us to evacuate. It was negative 17 degrees outside, and we had to kind of clear the house out of the smoke. We killed the fire instantly because we saw the smoke was, we figured it was probably something in there was frozen. That night we were able to open the door and kind of walked it out, and then all the windows were frozen in the house. But Richard was able to remove some plastic and get one of the back windows open so we could actually air, get a cross breeze going, and we were able to air it out and get the air safe in there. And luckily we had a backup heater too that we brought in, and so we had the heat throughout the night because it was negative 17 out. Plus we had to, in that negative 17, we had to introduce that into the house to clear the air, so to speak. And it worked out great. We slept downstairs. We were warm enough, luckily. But that next day was the day we had to take the ladder, and Richard had to get up there, and we took every piece of that chimney apart and wound up finding the solution, which was we had it's called a spark arrestor at the top of the chimney cap there, and it's basically hardware fabric wrapped around the top there, and what had happened is debris was catching on that, which is fine, but then you have very cold -17-degree weather, so it was freezing. So basically it built an ice dam, and so we had smoke being caused by that because it wasn't getting out. So Richard fixed that next day, and we were able to fire up the wood stove, and the fire was great, and we got the house back up to temperature. But one of the things we lost the video of is Richard was way up there, and when I initially put that together, I had adhered it all, which causes it to be very big, heavy, and unwieldy. So when he was taking it down, it wound up swinging down and kind of hitting him. He was okay, luckily, and I was stabilizing the ladder, but it was still a little scare. So yeah, that happened. That was one of our things that happened. We've also had the 5th coldest November in recorded history in Alaska, which has been a challenge because we can only be out here for a little bit before, well, and our nose hairs are freezing. I'm looking right at Richard, and his nose hairs, I can see them frozen. The well has been working great. We have to pump every single day at this point because we don't have the water system set up. But we haven't had any issues. As a matter of fact, our neighbors have had to come over and use ours because their systems have failed. And so I'm very, very happy. We are going to build a pump house, but that's, you know, going to be a later project. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is our piles, again, of building materials. These are going to have to wait. This is not an ideal storage situation for them, but it is what it is at this point, and there's nothing we can do. So we come out and get them when we need to. We have to take them inside and let them defrost because we did some cutting with them frozen. It did not go well, and we were fearful for our equipment. The other thing is we have to think about our equipment too, and running it in this cold of a temperature is not really possible. So we're kind of limited to, and we watch the weather like continually and then base our projects around necessity and then what can we do. So let's head inside.
Like Amy said before, it's been super cold outside. So it was like a constant -17 to -22. It's been like that for almost a month. So we've done a little bit of organizational stuff in the kitchen. We got all of our kitchen shelves done. Still want to bring something across up here and then put a light. We saw somebody mentioned to put a light right about here, and that sounds like a really good idea to us. So we're going to do that. We got some temporary lights under the shelves. We're going to put some permanent ones under there because they'll use less. I don't want to use batteries all the time. I'd rather use our battery system. Still got our drinking water coming from, there's a water station in Wasilla, and we're going to be putting our main water system up in here. I moved the on-demand propane water heater out here. We still have to hook it up, and we want to hook it up to there's 2 of these cisterns that we're going to put right here, and we're going to have a pump and everything for that. We've got some, our washing machine, which has been working great. We found a load setting that only uses 0.15 kilowatt. It takes about 40 minutes for the load. That's been real handy. We were able to get like 5 loads of laundry done in a day. A couple, like last week. Still got our fridge. We're going to be putting this fridge up on a pedestal, and that's going to raise it to, up a bit, and we'll have some storage under it, more cabinets. We got some paintings up just to kind of make it, pretty, I guess. So that one's my favorite. Liliana did that one when she was 18 months old. I really like it. There's a cot down here. No, I'm not in the doghouse. We're having some condensation issues. And there have been some drops of water coming through the insulation and then rolling down the plastic and then landing right on Liliana's bed. So we had to kind of move her stuff she's sleeping down here right now. And because she obviously needs her dad, I'm sleeping down here too, next to her on a mattress. Now, we used to have a metal ladder, and that was working fine until we put the flooring in. The flooring apparently is too slippery to have a ladder on. I was coming down at like 3 o'clock in the morning to stoke up the fire, and I started coming down the ladder, and the ladder slipped out from under me, and I was just kind of hanging there. Amy came to my rescue. I managed to get at least cheer me on.
I grabbed the ladder and pulled it up.
Amy grabbed the ladder and pulled it up.
I didn't push him down.
Right. She didn't step on my fingers to make me fall. So that changed our priorities. It was going to be get the plastic the rest of the way up, but then it became let's not die on the ladder. So we built kind of a ship ladder setup that's really stable and working really well. We had a video. We had, like I said, we had footage of a lot of stuff, and one of the things was building this, but unfortunately we lost that. But all we did is we laid out these 2x8s. I made marks like every 8 inches, and then we just put a stair, and we secured it in the middle, and then we put it up there at the angle we wanted. And then we leveled the stairs out, twisted, turned them to the way we wanted, and then we screwed them in the rest of the way. I like them. They're sturdy. The only issue is that you can't step on the full tread without, you got to pull your foot out all the way.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
It's been a lot safer.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And Liliana's got a little artwork there too.
I'm getting a little bit older, and maybe a ladder wasn't the best thing to have. Anyway, we've got this now, and this is great. This is only about 90% done still, like everything else. We want to put some handrails up, but I'm going to get like a hydraulic pipe or just some pipe to come out and make handrails going up. Another thing I want to do on the back of this is put like a hinged plywood table to replace our kind of dining room table. So, it'd kind of be up against there, and then when we put it down, I guess it'd be about like that high, but that way we've got a little dining nook. So we put plastic on the inside over the windows. The cold air is still kind of coming in, but we put this plastic over these, and it's done a lot to protect the windows from the condensation. Plus, it's keeping it warmer in here. It's making it so our air hits this first and not the window. And so these windows have not iced up. So here, these can now be opened during the winter.
Yeah, I'm really happy about them.
Yeah. Once we get this sealed up, we're going to be taking the, putting some wood up. This is what every one of our windows that doesn't have plastic over it looks like. There's a bunch of ice built up, and you can't open them. Unfortunately, all of our windows upstairs are like this, so we would not be able to come out. But we got, we just got done with breakfast a little while ago, but we've got all of our shelving done in here for the most part. We have to, maybe put some trim on it at some time, but functionally right now, it's at 100% as far as the kitchen shelves, which we like. Well, we do want to bring some across over for a little extra storage. And
thank you guys for that recommendation too.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comments.
Thank you for the comments on bringing something over across. We didn't know what we wanted to do, so we're going to roll with that. One thing we want to do is we want to put like little guardrails up for earthquake. We'll inevitably have another earthquake up here, and we don't want to lose all of our stuff, especially like our jars of things, and if we have china up here, we just don't want to lose that.
During this month too, that we found that wound up taking priority over the plastic, is we found on the shelves that we had built down below, because of the condensation issues, there was major condensation issues to the point we were afraid we were going to lose some of our food because there was water and ice collecting down there, and anything not in a protected container, we're potentially going to lose. So we had to pull all the stuff off And then we put, you'll see we have wood blocking. Still, I'm not done with all the shelves yet, but we have chunks of scrap wood that we had to use to put on the back sides of every single shelf so that nothing was touching that plastic. But for now, that was just another thing where we're like, oh no, we were going to do the plastic, but then we had to pull everything off of the kitchen shelves as well as our shelving unit over there. And again, do the same thing because all our books and games are over there and we had to pull it all off. And, you know, and also it gave us an opportunity because it's not 100% sealed. It gave me the opportunity to go and start covering every single staple with tape that we had stapled the plastic. So because we hadn't done that, it was just one of those things.
So yeah, we got the stairs done, we got the shelves done, we're working on the plastic. We still have to finish the plastic on the ceiling. It's hanging down a lot. We can't get the ladder in here because it's frozen. But the idea is that we're going to get our big ladder in here and put it up there so that we can then finish the plastic. But again, there was this ladder priority. We had to do the ladder. Then the wood stove issue happened, so we had to make sure that was set. It's just been a mad dash to fix something. But you know, that's okay.
At the cost of something else, and that's just the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
We're okay with it. We'll get there. Every day we're taking a bite out of it, and eventually it'll be done, and then we'll be, you know, clawing at the bit to do something else. We still have a long list of priorities for just the house, and then we have a lot of stuff that we want to do. You know, we still need to do a garage off of a shipping container for the car to protect it. We already had a tree fall in it once this year, and we want to avoid that. We need an area to store building materials so they're not getting covered. We need an area to store our snow thrower and our splitter and just general everyday stuff. We also had to bring so much stuff inside from the container because it's been so cold. You know, we had some electronics that we brought up, but mainly all of our preservation stuff, all of our jars. We had a bunch of berries and stuff, and we unfortunately lost some of it. It popped. It got so cold that it blew the seals on everything, which was really unfortunate. But again, we had to trade that time for something else on the house, and we'll get back to where we were, and it won't be a problem. So we have a lot of board games. We like to play board games. We had to burn Settlers of Catan because Aimee always wins, and we don't want to play Aimee Settlers anymore. And so that's where we are on the lower floor here. And we'll kind of mosey on upstairs here. So the fire is going right now. Let's see, what is it? So it's 68 up here.
Usually it gets pretty warm though at night, as it can be like 82 up here. They are both miserable in any kind of heat, and 82 doesn't sound very warm, but to them you would swear it's like 150 degrees. Some of the things that we messed up on, we found out because of you guys all. I had to actually remove the insulation that I did put in the roof in order to put in baffling, and that was a lot of fun, and I wish I would have known better in the beginning. But yeah, I didn't put baffling in, which is, we lost that footage too, but it's these little black plastic things that let the air flow. So I pulled the insulation out and then put baffling all along the ceiling and then had to reapply the insulation. So thank you all for those comments too on the putting the holes for the airflow for the breeze blocking and then the ridge vent as well. So I'm really excited to get that going this spring. We learned from our mistakes for sure. Don't hire somebody that's had more than one bridge collapse. I hope that you guys chase your dreams too. Our dream was to move here to Alaska, and every day I'm just in complete awe of this house and our surroundings and the community. It is absolutely amazing up here. Please, if you like this video, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the like button. It really does help us out, encourages us to make more videos. Please comment too, because your comments help us and also inspire us. I love to hear people, you know, saying they're doing it or thinking about doing it, and it makes us feel really good that, you know, there's other people out there that are, you know, are like-minded and want to continue this path.
Thank you for watching. This is the Life in Alaska channel. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching.